Hood Postman, City, Hood, click. Let's go.
Be very careful who you talk to, because you'll never know who the informant. Be very careful who you talk to, because you'll never know who the informant is, who the cooperating witness may be, and you never know somebody who was a friend today may have been flipped the night before and become your enemy tomorrow.
About humanity, putting truth in these lies, while they busy feeding lies. When you got that tunnel vision, gotta open up your eyes. Wake up and go to sleep. Man, I'm praying all times. And to my guys, ain't no other side. This for my brothers, I'ma pray we all shine. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Yeah, you already know.
Depending on the lessons, some people eat, some people learn. But the game is going to send you big. Lock the door.
Lock the door. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation and the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. Be sure to click that notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below, so when the dope content hit, it'll feel like it's the first of the 15. Welcome to the mailroom. You come in, take a look at your mind, examine what's in your heart. You go anywhere in the world to get a couple of lives, but you come right here, get the truth, and the truth you shall receive. You ring that bell, I'll bring you mail, as Hefe would say. Guys, man, this is not a glorification or the glamorization. It's always an education. You get on the bus, and let me take you to school. Shout out to everybody that's joining us. I appreciate each and every last one. Yes, it has been a few days. Sorry to been off air for a minute. We had a family emergency. Marlena has had a family emergency, so she had, maybe she'll inform you and let you know what that is when she come back. But until then, we rocking and rolling, man. We miss you, Marlena. We hope to have you back soon. That is the Postmaster General herself. Get her back up in here. Let's get it. Let's go. Guys, money in the power, guys. That's what it is. It's money in the power. Donald J. Trump will pardon Diddy. If that judge doesn't give Diddy a bail this time, you can expect Donald J. Trump will step in, because Donald J. Trump is about money. And all the people, the big money players, they have action at getting at the president, and the president granted them either pardons or minimizing their situation. That's just what the money game is. And anybody who don't understand what the money game is, it's that just I'm trying to explain it to you now. And a lot of times people have personal opinions or feelings about it, but at the same time, the money game is what it is. And if you're not in the money, then you're not part of the money game. In order to be in the money game, Diddy was his homie. Yeah, and you're right, Rodney. Shout out to Rodney, and shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey, Monique, how are you? Yes, how are you today? So, in order to be in the money game, you must be part of the elite. You must be part of the elite group and belong to secret societies. And once you get in, man, it's carte blanche, and it's all about knowing the right people to get things taken care of. And Diddy is part of the money game, whether we like it or dislike it. And for the facts of the matter is that Diddy wasn't the only one that was culpable in the circumstance and the situation that we saw. We all witnessed what happened to the young lady in the hotel, Cassie. But Cassie was complicit. She was very complicit in all the freak offs and the baby oil and the people inviting people to the party and all the different stuff. So we cannot negate that. We got to look at that also. That is also part of the wagons. It's a circle of wagons and the things that go on within that circle of trust. That circle of trust was broken because somebody decided to not play fair. And the reason why she decided not to play fair because she wanted to be her own boss at this time. She got tired of being part of that clown show, which Diddy had created. Well, of course he created. But at the same time, that's what happened to people with money. People that had money, 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 they run out of things to do. It's got to be careful about money. And one thing about money, having millions and millions of dollars, because you can buy anything, go anywhere, do anything, do it, and you're virtually not held accountable on a lot of things. So it gets weird after that. And when it gets weird, you do stuff that's out of the ordinary. And then you become so comfortable with it, you begin to normalize it, and it become normal to you. I guarantee you, Diddy saw no problem with having how many many bottles of baby oil he had. But I want you guys to understand something. There's always ecosystems. Ecosystems in the sense that the early bird gets the worm, but it's the hawk that fills his belly that ate the early bird that ate the worm. In other words, there's always a bigger fish, and there's always a bigger bird, and there's always bigger prey, smaller prey. That's always going to be it's ecosystems. And if you understand that, you understand that when a bird is alive, it eats the ant, and when the bird dies, the ant eats it. It take one tree to make a million of matches, but it only take one match to to require to burn down a million trees. This circumstance can change at any time. Don't devalue or hurt anyone in this life. You may be powerful today, but if there is more people, there's always going to be more powerful than you. You got to understand that. What's up, BK? Money creates the bigger ego. Yeah, that's it, and that's what it is. And don't be mad when y'all see Diddy outside, back out doing what he think. I think he will be more careful. He will not, engage and indulge in the things that because he's already. But that's one thing about the feds, and I tell people all this. I've been caught by the feds, so I ain't no good at that no more. I had to find something else to do. Once you've been caught, you're no longer good at that certain particular thing. You got to find other things to do because you no longer as good at that as you might have believed. So I'm sure Diddy would switch it up, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kanye dropped some money on it, and a couple of other people. What's the guy down there? The DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and some of them people behind the scenes. I guarantee you, they anteing up. They are anteing up. You may not know this, or you may not even see it, but I guarantee you that there are some people out there that will come together. They will come together like butt cheeks and put that money up to where it be, and Donald Trump will pull the trigger because he don't care. He don't care what the Republicans think. He don't care what the Democrats think. He will actually he will exercise his his executive power to be president of the United States of country and do what he thinks is necessary. And nobody can tell him any different because they elected. You guys elected him. Maybe not you particularly, but the people of this country elected him president, and he would exercise that office, whatever that oath is. I don't even think he even care about the office. What he care about is money and the power. Understand that Donald Trump does not necessarily play a race card or race game. He played a money game. And if you don't have millions and millions of dollars, you probably really don't understand what the money games is, what the rules are, and how it applies. But trust me, it is a secret society, and there's a bunch of good old fellas that's in it, and they're clapping and patting each other on the butt and on the back, and they doing funny and strange things to one another because that's what money is. And if you understand it, you know that it's always there. There's so many books about different secret societies, the bootleg, the scrolls and keys, skull and bones, and all these different people belong to something. The Freemasons, the Jesuits, all these people that have money belong to something. Trust and believe me. The ones that went to Cornell, Brown, Colgate, to Princeton, Harvard, all these people belong to secret societies, and they all get along and they all back each other. It's just that when you backstab with an M, you let one of your fellow brothers down that's in these different collectives, then that's when they disown you and they will discard you. And that's what happened to the guy, I can't think of his name, the movie producer, the Jewish guy that got caught up. He got too arrogant with it, and he might have did some things that where he crossed the line, and they stopped. They wasn't willing to back it. Look at the guy from Abercrombie and Finch, CEO. He was flying in boys. They was molesting young boys. The bills, because these judges don't necessarily belong to these upper echelons. They have their own society and own different people that they function with, but they don't necessarily get into the top artists. They don't get into that. They have their own choirs. But you got to be to get into these clubs. You got to be able to but there's oaths. I don't know what the oaths are, but trust me, you got to take an oath. I remember reading in William Milton Cooper, Behold a Pale Horse, when George Bush was being elected president. He had became a member of the Skull and Bones. And the Skull and Bones, what you had to do was lie in a casket. You had to lie in a casket naked with a ribbon tied around your genitalia, pulled tightly, and you had to utter some of your most lewd and sexual fantasies in front of all these men. This is part of the ritual to get into this, and this secret society, belonging to this secret society, meant more than this oath of office that these guys take to be president. So their secret societies are way more powerful than any single man that's being a president. A president do not run this country. It is a corporation. There's a board. In any corporation, there's a board and has members and have people that come around and sit down at the table and they discuss ideas and they discuss how everything is going to move, how the money is going to move, and what happens to people like myself and anybody else that get counterfeit is called being in effect of commerce. Commerce goes this way, but if you decide to move it back this way, then you're in effective commerce and they will come at you because everything is a contract. That's why they put your name in bold letters on it. Even look at your driver license, your birth certificate, your social security card. You are a corporation. If you don't know that, you know that now. Just go take a look at those secret numbers and all that. All that stuff has meaning. But because we're so drawn in by society, and me being a social scientist and understanding that the society itself, what's behind the appearance is the reality. We're in the appearance of it, but what's behind there is the reality. The reality that we don't really know how this society functions. We believe, but believe is not knowing. You can't know something and believe at the same time. You just can't. So that's why we have what is called a belief system. That's why we have what is called a belief system. And religion, the devil, Satan is the church best friend because it has kept the church operating for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Without Satan as a mascot or as a entity to point at, the church could not be able to operate because there wouldn't be no need. So people that believe, they go to church and they believe this and they have belief systems. So, but you can't believe, again, you can't believe and know something at the same time because believing gives doubt. That's why it's identity. non-contradiction, and excluded middle. Identity is you, the person. Non-contradiction is either true or false. Excluded middle, there's nothing in the middle. There's nothing in the middle. If you believe, and somehow you believe, think your mind believe there's something in the middle, then you out of the game. You lost already. But that's why we're here today. Shout out to Antonio, man. We will be getting back to the lives and everything, and we'll probably do another one later on this evening. But what I wanted to tell you guys that believe it, Diddy will be free. Whether the judge can do what he want to do, but Donald J. Trump will pull the trigger. We don't saw he done it. He did it for Harry O. He did it for Kodak Black. He did it for Lil Wayne. He did it for countless of others that we may know or don't know. The Europeans brought the church to us. Well, again, church is the product. Consumers are the people that attend, and benefactors are the bishops and the pastors and the preachers and the reverends and the clergymen that belong to it. They are the benefactors. Again, the church could not exist if it wasn't for the devil. The devil is the biggest friend to the church. But that's another story. But once again, money and the power. Donald J. Trump, once again, Diddy will be pardoned. Money and the power. That's Scarface, right? Money and the power. Money and the power. Go listen to Scarface, man. Maybe that'll give you a better clarity, give you more clarity on what I'm telling you at this point. Can you guys hear me okay? I want to make sure you can hear me okay. Yeah, but that's okay, man. Yeah, we're gonna get back to the lives and everything. Maybe Marlena, she'll be joining us this evening. We'll see what we do. We'll talk about a couple of things. So much to talk about. I don't even know where to begin because there's a lot of stuff going on these YouTube streets. The streets are undefeated. YouTube has consumed every piece of street knowledge, street understanding. And if you're in the streets, then you might want to get out of it because there's so many things that now that has taken away from the streets and tore the streets and shredded it, ripped it up, and any individuals that are moving differently, and they have normalized things that never used to be normal and shouldn't be normal, but they have done it. So with that being said, I am Professor Melly Mel, the Hood Postman. Don't mind me, just watching. Church moving. That's why I say church moving. But go ahead and lock that door. We out.